We have some good news for you. Kari Lake has officially lost her bid to once again be anything other than the weird thing she is in the right-wingoverse. And that's good news. I'm happy about it. I'm not as happy as one person is about it, and we will get to her, don't worry. But first, the results. Kari Lake loses by 2.2%. Bear in mind, Trump won that state, so she significantly underperformed Donald Trump. Now, she hasn't said anything as far as we've seen yet about the results of the election, bearing in mind that she's the sort of person that generally doesn't take bad news well. But that said, she had previously said that she will accept the results of the election. I have had a few concerns, but we've done a lot of legwork to prevent any problems. Okay, we'll see. Maybe she'll end up claiming fraud. I will tell you, spoiler alert, some people are, and we'll get to that.
Sure.
But first, I alluded to the one person enjoying Kari Lake's failure more than me, and that would definitely be Meghan McCain. Meghan McCain hates Kari Lake more than I hate Trump and Elon Musk combined. She posted this, "Get in, loser, we're going losing," and is just delighting in Kari Lake. Remember, they've been fighting over things Kari Lake has said about her father, which, you may not know. Meghan McCain's dad was John McCain. But anyway, so she's having some fun. I think that we should all stop for a moment amid our grief, Francesca, and appreciate that Kari Lake will not be a senator. What do you think?
Absolutely. No, it's huge. This is a massive victory. And I do think that Ruben Gallego running in counter to Kyrsten Sinema and running in counter to Kari Lake really says something. And I know the margins are narrow, but it does say something about Arizona, and it does say something about the kinds of Democrats we should be electing to the Senate, to Congress, which are Democrats that will again vote along with their party president, will vote along with the rest of the Democrats, and especially when it comes to sticking their finger in the eye of the corporate wing of the party. And Kyrsten Sinema was part and parcel of that corporate wing. She had no scruples. She was allied to no one except her and her weird resale Facebook marketplace, like luxury clothing side hustle. Like that's so this is really good, and I know where we're going with this. So I just love the next. I love the next tweet, so we can go there. That's all
I'll go directly to that. I have another point to make later, but DC Drano, it's impossible to tell how significant people are since he's got a verification check mark. But he says, "How the hell does America vote for Trump by 6 points, but Arizona, sorry, not America, by 6 points, but pick cartel-linked Ruben Gallego? That's all BS. As its senator 5 days after the election, I'll give you a hint. It's fraud. No, you guys are the frauds. Your ideology is a fraud. How can it possibly go two ways? I don't know. Maybe Kari Lake's not qualified. Maybe people don't like her. They don't think that she has any place even close to power, let alone being one of the most powerful people in Arizona. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's literally anything other than fraud. But think about what he's saying there. The Democrats stole the Senate race, but forgot to deliver a swing state to Harris. They were just so busy with Gallego, they didn't think about Harris. How bleach-brained must you be to think that, Francesca?
Yeah, I mean, and the other thing is that, and this is the hard pill to swallow, is that actually down ballot Democrats didn't do so terribly. Yes, I know we don't have the Senate, but again, I think we have to put some of the senators that were up for reelection in a special category. They weren't necessarily offering some new ideas to their states, but look at abortion measures across the country. 7 out of 10 passed in favor of protecting a woman's right to an abortion and a right to choose. Like that is all good. And so it's just the top of the ticket. It's just the top of the ticket. And again, it's this special, disgusting sauce that Donald Trump has that sounds like, and I know you're gonna talk about tomorrow, sounds like an AOC Bernie type outsider populism and is everything but. So he is the leader of the Republican Party. The Republican Party paved the way for Donald Trump, but he also does have something that sets him apart, right? And so it's our job to try to understand that and to counter it effectively.
Yeah, and look, the fascinating thing is, while a lot looks different in this election than 2022, 2020, 2018, one constant is that as you're saying, other people don't really get through when they run on his sort of nonsense, his sort of BS. Like, yeah, sure, they win a primary in a super red district and they win. That's why we're infected with the Marjorie Greens and all that. But they could put a red hat on a chimpanzee and it could win in some of these districts. That doesn't mean people like it. They were always gonna vote for the Republican. But when people are given a real choice and there's any chance of it going one way or the other, they still don't like that stuff. And in particular, in an election where Donald Trump wins, if narrowly, the fact that they go for him, and then there is this ticket splitting that has actually happened. We're gonna talk about the AOC thing tomorrow, but with Kari Lake, it clearly happened. I think it represents that this is not, we like this movement and every aspect of this movement, and we just want more of this movement. If that was the case, Democrats wouldn't have won all these Senate races. They picked Trump symbolically at the top of the ticket to represent a desire for something else. They didn't like all the specific components of it, which is why when people like Kari Lake try to throw those on and say that's my identity, people don't like it. They don't actually like it. I think that they elected Trump to send a signal that hopefully will be heard and acted on by the Democratic Party. But in an actual landslide election, Kari Lake gets elected. His coattails should be enough to elect a Kari Lake, but they weren't, and that is something to consider.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. By the way, Elon Musk's election integrity community is also focused on Arizona for fraud. It's just, again, remember how like we're all saying like, oh, it's weird how they're not talking about fraud after Trump won. No, they can do both. They can still be conspiratorial.
Well, we can be conspiratorial too.
That's
I'm just waiting for the Starlink info to drop. I'm waiting for the Starlink info to drop. And then we'll see.
I think it's gonna change everything.
It's gonna change everything. Why are there satellites?
I don't think there should be any satellites coming out. I think we should knock down all the satellites.
Absolutely, except for the one to my phone.
I do like that. I like going on Reddit on the go. Thanks for watching our video. Did you know that you can support our show by becoming a subscriber? Just click the subscribe button and also ring the bell so that you get notifications when we're live or when we post new content.